What's up, schmucks? It's been like about 2 weeks since my fuck up of a Star Wars video. So, yeah, today I'm just gonna review a thing. This is probably pretty quick, so let's just jump right into it. It seems that comic book shows are on the rise, and while shows like Riverdale, Adventures of Sabrina, and Daybreak are absolute shit, shows like Daredevil and End of the Fucking World stand above. That said, I have yet to read the End of the Fucking World comics or the graphic novel, whatever it is you want to call it, even though I'm sure it's probably really good. But the point is that I'm about as average a viewer as you could get. I don't have a lot of background knowledge for this property, so I'm not really biased in any way when I start gushing about how good this show is, because this show's really fucking good. So, End of the Fucking World is back in its second season, and after the first season, which is one of the best seasons I've ever seen of a TV show, it has a lot to live up to. So what's going on in Season 2? Well, since the end of Season 1, Alyssa, played by Jessica Barden, has come not a long way. In fact, she's probably regressed since Season 1, and she's worse off than when she started. The season also introduces us to Bonnie, played excellently by Naomi Ackie. The plot is a bit spoilery, so in spoiler-free terms, it's essentially Season 1 all over again, with a few twists and more depth and darker moments than Season 1 had. And that sounds generic and it sounds bad, but believe me, it works totally fine. This show works because of how simple it is. The show isn't putting kids in absolutely ridiculous scenarios. The scenarios they get into are a little out there, but they never go so incredibly out there that the show suffers because of it, such as things like Daybreak or Riverdale do. Instead, the show kind of keeps it simple and it keeps it realistic, and that's why this show works so well. If you don't mind a light little spoiler, I will tell you what the plot really is, and if you do mind that, don't worry. Just mute until the big spoiler on screen goes away. I'm not going to show any footage that spoils anything. Relax. So, let's go. In spoilery terms, James, played by Alex Lothar, is alive, because if you thought he died, you're an idiot. Anyways, James is back, and he's still in love with Alyssa, so he's pining after her, while Alyssa is struggling to figure out who and what she is in life. And while that's going down, someone is trying to hunt them down and most likely kill them. So, with the plot out of the way, what makes this season so good, if not better than Season 1? Well, there's a few things, but the main thing is Alyssa. Alyssa is so drastically different from Season 1, while also staying consistent with her character, which is really hard to do with both a writer standpoint and an actor's, but it's handled beautifully. Alyssa is struggling with the idea that she might be a sociopath, while the season's central conflict plays out, and it's handled really, really well. It's really sad, too. You see her break down mentally and emotionally, while also realizing that it's not affecting her, and she knows that's a problem. Even when Alyssa does a really shitty thing, which she does a lot, it's easy to relate to her, and you can understand why she's doing it. And the show never asks you to justify the horrible things the characters are doing, it just asks you to understand, which is really, really great, and I love that so much. Naomi Ackie is wonderful in this season as a new part of the central cast. She's clearly not entirely right in the head, and it shows in her mannerisms, her dress sense, her speech, her facial expressions. It's really just a great performance, aided by smart and terrific writing. This season is also much funnier than Season 1. It's that very dry British humor that I personally really like, but it is funnier. The season's also very dark. Like, really fucking dark. Season 1 got dark considering there was murder and almost a rape, but this season is just more intense. And not necessarily in a violent kind of way, in a more psychological kind of way. That said, Season 2 definitely has a higher body count than the first season, so there's another reason why it's kind of dark. A lot of people die. The next thing I want to talk about is a bit spoilery, so the big spoiler on screen's coming back. So again, mute if you don't want any spoilers, but this also isn't a big spoiler, so take it however you want. It's don't fucking come at me if you watch it. It ruins the show for you. I gave you a warning, so fuck off. Anyways, James is back, like I said, and he's my favorite. He's so good. He's also really different from the first season. He's completely forgotten his murderous tendencies, and is instead a lot more empathetic and vulnerable. Similar to Alyssa, James is very different this season, while also staying consistent with who he is deep down as a character. Alex Lothar plays it really, really well. There's a specific scene where he yells at Alyssa, and he's just trying to explain his pain, and it's powerful. It's brief, but it's really good. It's strong. It resonates with you. And it just kind of goes to show how well written this show is, and how understanding the writers are with these characters. They know who they are. They know what they'd say. And it's really impressive for a show to stay this consistent with its characters when dealing with themes like this. Because a lot of shows with bigger budgets behind them really fuck this up. Even shows that I like more than this fuck this up. Rick and Morty fucked this up. Season 3, Rick is completely mischaracterized. Shows like Daybreak fuck this up episode to episode. So I think there's a lot of praise that needs to be given to the writers of this show who are keeping it consistent season to season. Because really, it seems easy, but it's actually kind of hard. The cinematography this season is also really good. It's one of the best looking shows or movies I've seen all year long. Right up there with like Joker and Us and other movies that I can't think of at the moment. It's something I'm sure a lot of people will overlook, but as someone who looks for that type of stuff, I love to see it done well, and this show does it really well. One last thing. This season ends in a spot where this could be the final season, and I think a lot of people will be completely content with that, so I'm wondering if they'll make a third season. Like I said, I haven't read the graphic novel, so it's something that I don't know. I don't know if this is where the story ends. I don't know if it's being continued. I don't know. And so I just think that's something that warranted a mention. So that's that. End of the Fucking World Season 2 is outstandingly good, and I might like it more than Season 1. I'm not sure. I'm going to have to sit on it a little longer. I don't really do ratings because I think they're kind of shit. So yeah, just go watch it, you prick. So yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you enjoyed this, maybe give it a like, maybe even subscribe if you want to. I'm not going to force you to do anything. Also, I have an Instagram account, and I'll likely never use it, but feel free to give that a follow if you feel so inclined. Considering that Rick and Morty will be coming out weekly now, I'll probably post like brief little reviews of every episode. That'll be up if you want. Maybe I'll do reviews for The Mandalorian, because that comes out pretty soon too. I'm also going to probably post pictures of my hot toys, because I have quite a few of them, and I want to flex. So yeah, that's it for me here. Again, thank you for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day.